How the Cell Creates an Entertaining but Inaccurate Overview of Neurolaw and Schizophrenia. The Cell was released in 2000, directed by Tarsem Singh, and written by Mark Protosevich. It starred Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio. The Cell was a very entertaining film. It incorporates science fiction, brain and behavior, and a good old-fashioned whodunit. However, its portrayal of neural imaging techniques and their use for actually going inside the mind of a killer is hyperbolic. Also, the film could perpetuate negative stereotypes towards schizophrenic people. So the main themes in the book are neural imaging, neurolaw, and atypical behavior. Neural imaging is shown as a bodysuit that individuals can get into, connect to another individual, and actually go inside of their mind. Using this technology, a serial killer is kind of like psychoanalyzed, and also it is used to determine where one of his victims is trapped. The film portrays a serial killer as having a fictional form of schizophrenia, which causes him to go into a coma, and this relates to atypical behavior of the brain. So the first peer-reviewed article that I used is called Forensic Psychiatry and Neurolaw, Description, Developments, and Debates. The article gives an overview of neurolaw, defines it, describes how it fits into ethics and current forensic science, and then it gives an overview of what we could expect for the future of neurolaw. So this article supports my primary evaluation of the film because it gives a realistic account of where neurolaw stands. The film shows neurolaw as something that happens just because the technology is there, but in reality there would have to be a closer consideration of ethics. Also, technology in the film is far ahead of any actual imaging techniques that can be used for current neurolaw practices. The second article is called Neural Imaging to Track Mental States While Using an Intelligent Tutoring System. And this article studies fMRI techniques which allow insight into mental states. So students are monitored for their levels of engagement during a tutoring session, and researchers can actually accurately determine the level of engagement these students have with the tutoring. So this supports my primary evaluation of the film because it gives a more realistic overview of neural imaging. The film shows neural imaging as something precise and super advanced, while the article emphasizes that it is possible to get a broad view of brain activity, but that mind reading is not currently available. The third reference I used is titled Schizophrenia and Violence, and this article gives an overview of the relation between violence and severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia. The data provided in the article provides evidence for the lack of violent crimes committed by schizophrenic individuals. So although that stereotype exists, there's not a substantial link between schizophrenic individuals and violent crime. So this supports my primary evaluation of the film because it emphasizes the fallacy of assuming schizophrenic individuals will become serial killers. It points out that the chances of a schizophrenic individual committing a violent crime against a stranger is actually even lower, which stands in opposition to the portrayal of the man in the film as someone who sought out strangers to trap them and kill them. So this film could impact the way brain and behavior is perceived by the public in several ways. It could cause the public to believe technology is much further along for neurolaw and neural imaging than it actually is. The public could come to the conclusion that we will be able to read the minds of criminals and convict them of crimes in the near future. However, of course, ethics have to be considered much more closely, and technology is not actually that far along. Second, the film could cause the public to make erroneous conclusions about schizophrenic people, that they are all violent or they're going to become serial killers. Although the film uses a fictional type of schizophrenia, it portrays, nonetheless, schizophrenia, and this could have a negative impact. So, great movie. Looking at it through the lens of brain and behavior, however, it definitely could cause some, negative implications.